Hello everyone, this is King Kong LT. This video I will show you how to integrate this LED strip with this KC868-A4 board. We can use the ESPhome running the Home Assistant on the Raspberry Pi 4, and also you can use the A8 board. I just take a video for example for this A4 board. Okay, let's look at the first is the hardware. We have choose this LED strip. That means the chip is W2812B. This is the LED strip. And first we can see the interface. You can see this only have 3 lines. This red is 5-volt power supply, and the white is ground, and the green is a signal. We can see the strip have 2 sockets for male and female, so we can easily to connect with the A4 board. And you can see the every LED has 4 pins. You can see that every LED has this 4 pins. That means the ground and the power, and the D in and D out. This is input, the signal is D in, and this is D out like this. This is input, and this is output. Output for next, the second one is D in. And the date sent to this LED, and this LED will send to the next LED. So we'll go around with this strip. The signal sent to this one, and to second one, and to third one, and to fourth, and until to the last one. So the signal is sent from these directions. So the strip, we only can use these 3 lines, so it will be very easy. And now you can see this is our A4 board. This A4 board, we have used this socket. You can see this is socket for DS18B20 temperature sensor. This is S is signal is from the socket to the ESP32 module. So and this is ground, so we can use this S and the ground. You can see I have used this S part with this signal is green, and this ground is with the LED strip is white. And because this LED strip need large power supply, so I have used use this extend power supply for the LED strip. The power supply, how to choose, I will tell you later. So you can see I can connect with this socket. I can connect it together with this socket. And you can see the 5-volt, the red, it goes through this line and go to this power supplies 5-volt. This is red for 5-volt. And this black is ground from this power supply. And this ground is connected with this white is for the LED strip. So this is the power supply for the LED strip, and connect with the signal for the A4 board. And this is the USB cable have connected with this Raspberry Pi. This is Raspberry Pi. I have used the 4 version. You can also use Raspberry Pi 3. And this is Raspberry Pi power supply, and the USB cable have connected with this A4 board. This is a mini USB connected together because we need to download the ESPhome firmware from the Raspberry Pi. And this is the power supply 12-volt for the A4 board, so I can connect with this external power. And you can see the red LED is on. Okay, let's look at the computer. This is the ESPhome. Before we configure the ESPhome, we can see this our form. I have write some information about the hardware, how to choose the power supply. You can see the first, we have used the chip. The module is W2812B. Why we choose this chip? Because you can find the ESPhome. You can search the first LED light in this quick search section, and you will find this is support the ESP support this chip, LED chip. So this is have list. This is support. These all chips with LED strip you can choose. Just these two items is commonly used. It's cheap and very easy to buy from online store. So I introduce you use this one or this one. We have used this one. This is the new version, and back to this page. And when we choose this chip and have this strip, you can see that every LED have RGB colors. You can see this is a strip. I have another strip. You can see this is the LED indicate, but the RGB LED indicate that includes the R is red, and the G that means green, and the B means blue. The 3 LED is inside all in one, so it will take the current. So we can see this is the current for every R, G, and B. Every color is 20 milliampere, 20 milliampere, 20 milliampere. So the totally one LED indicate will cost 60 milliampere. So if you use 1 meter, this I have used 1 meter. The 1 meter will have totally have 30 LED. That means this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the last one is 30. So I have totally have 30 LEDs. So if you use 1 meter, have 30 LEDs, you can buy the LED strip by yourself. So it will cost every one is 60 milliampere, and if you have 30 LEDs, that totally will have this 1.8 ampere. So you can choose the DC 5 volt 2 ampere power supply, just greater than this 1.8 ampere is okay. And if you have used the 10 meter as LED, any meter, any length, you will use 300 LEDs, so that the current will cost 18 ampere. So you can choose larger than 18 ampere as a power supply. And if you have the LED strip, any length, you just need to cut like this, according to this line, and the LED will be disconnected. So this is the right way to cut the LED strip. So this is how to make the LED strip as your size. Okay, this is how to choose the hardware and how to choose the LED strip and connect to the A4 board. Now we can power on. We can connect to this power supply to the socket. After we configure the hardware, now we begin to configure the software of the ESPhome. You can see I can go to the Home Assistant and click the overview. That is nothing. And the first you need to install the ESPhome on your supervisor, and you can see the add-on store. You just choose the ESPhome to install. I have installed, so I just click the ESPhome. And the first I need to add the node. Click add node, and the name you can see I can input LED strip. This is the name, and the Wi-Fi SSID is your router's SSID and the password. Input yours, not input my SSID and the password, and press next. And this time you can choose the module you have used. We have used the ESP32 for the A4 board, and we choose this item and press next. And configuration create and choose the close. And now we can click the edit. Because this is offline, so this is red, we can edit. And you can see this is configuration default. We have configuration have configured on our form. You just copy and paste, so it will be very easy to use. This is for ESPhome config, so I can copy and paste. I can delete all, delete and paste. And I will tell you why is configuration as this content. And this is name ESPhome LED strip 30, and the plant for is ESP32, and the board is ESP32 development board. And this is Wi-Fi, the SSID and the password. this needed to write down for your load, not input as my Wi-Fi SSID and the password. And this is the AP mode. If the ESP32 work as the AP mode, that will be displayed the SSID, the hotspot, and the password. If you not need to use the AP mode, you can delete it. Also, no problem. And this is enable the login output. And this is API for configuration for Home Assistant, the password, and the OTA, that's for update. We just, for example, just very easy password input 1. And this enables the web service. So you can open your web browser and to control the LED strip. This is the default port by the AT. And this is light for the LED strip. This is important sections about these sections. The platform is fast clocks, because we can, according to this ESPhome, this example for configuration for the light, just the platform. And the chip, we have used WS2812B, just input the chip. And this pin, that means we have connected with the ESP32 with the LED strip. We have used the GPIO13. So this we can see the diagram. We have connected this IO13. IO13 means this port. This port is the IO13. And the next, the LED number, this is 30. Because we have used 1 meter, you can see, we have used 1 meter. So I have calculated the LED is 30. Maybe you have used 31, 32, 33. Just actually how many LED you used, just configuration with you correct the number of the LED. And this is the RGB order. This RGB order that you need to input the GRB. The configuration as a default, this is BRG, this is wrong. I have tested, this can't work correctly. So this is input GRB, just input the every color, the sequence. And the name will displayed on the Home Assistant. We can input the light strip /A4. And you can input by your name, by yourself. And the effect we have defined, the 7 effects that is included by the Home Assistant for the ESPhome. This is 7 style. If you want many styles for effect, you can see this effect. Just click, and you can see the light effects, the pause effect, and the rhythm effect, and other effect. Many effects. So it's more than 7 styles. I have, for example, so I have configured the 7 styles. I will show you the results and how it works. And after your configuration for all information, you just press save and press install. And this time you can choose this one, because we have used the USB cable from the Raspberry Pi to download the freeware. So we can choose this via USB to the server. The server is Raspberry Pi, and click, and this default have detected the USB. When this step, you must need to connect the USB cable and the 12 volt. And click, and now begin to download. The first I need to link in the library and compare the files for download. You just need to wait for a moment. Now is the last step, is linking, generate the freeware. Okay, now begin to writing. Okay, you can see this is downloaded successfully. And this is log output. You can see we have this information for the address. And this is A4 baud IP address. Is this one, 1.240. And it connected successfully. Okay, we can close, press stop. Then you can see this LED strip, the red is become green, so that means online. So we can choose the configuration and the integration, and you will find the ESPhome will have entity ID generate. You can click and you will see this LED strip A4 is generated. So we can just click the overview and edit the dashboard and edit the card. And we can choose any card, or we can choose this entity ID. A4 LED strip. This is A4 LED strip. And save. And you can see close, and you can see we can turn on. I can let the LED strip extend. You can see I can turn off and turn on and change the brightness. And like this, change the brightness. And you can change the color. This red. I just click red and green and blue and any other color style. As you use your mouse, click on this menu. And this is effect. We can choose this is now because we have set the 7 style. So I can click the rainbow. When the rainbow effect, you can see the color will change as the rainbow. And the second, I can change to this one. This will be follow. The LED will be follow. And the 3, scan. I can click the scan. You can see this is scan. According to the LED strip, it go to end and back to the first. This is scan. And also have many styles. You just click by yourself. Many styles, and you can control any LED strip. So this you can change by yourself easily, and this is by the PC software on the Home Assistant. Now I will show you the mobile phone. This is my mobile phone, Home Assistant application. Also we can click, and you can change the brightness. And you can change the brightness and change the color, red. You can see, become red. And I can control the brightness to the max. Because I have clicked the rainbow, I click now. And you can see, I change it to red and green and blue and any. I just check, click and click and click and close and open. So this is controlled by the mobile phone application. And we have configuration for the web servers because we have used, we can input. This is our web service because we have configuration on the ESPhome. You can see this edit. We have configured the web service for this point. So we can use the web browser, open this IP address, you will find this A4, and you can click toggle and off and toggle on and off and click on. So you can control this LED strip by the website. This is just a demo for on and off. This is by the HTTP command. If you want control many command, you just click the ESPhome web API. That for the API document will have many commands you can use for the HTTP server. So this is how to use the web service, and this is ESPhome by the Home Assistant. Okay, thanks for watching.